Okay, guys, so I am so excited about this series that we're going to be working on for the next several weeks. And it's a series how we're going to separate the ages and the seasons of skin with tweens, tweens and teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and then beyond. And because everybody has different skin issues, they need different skin care, all kinds of different things in different seasons. And so this segment on this Zoom is going to be about tweens and teens. Okay. And I chose, I'm glad that this popped into my mind because yesterday I was helping Erica with her volleyball team, and it was the volleyball team and their moms. And as I was talking to each of the players, there were some players that needed clear proof, some players that didn't. And one of the little girls came up to me and said, I have clear proof at home, but I don't like it. And she just had fantastic skin. And I said, you really don't need clear proof. Your skin is too good for clear proof. And this is kind of what got me wanting to do this, because I want you to know what to recommend to all of your customers. And so these are not cookie cutter products. Okay, they're very specific and customized for skin issues. Okay, so let's start with the tweens and teens. Okay, so we do have a fabulous skincare line as far as or acne clear proof, but I was not a clear proof teenager. I would not have been able to wear it just like that young girl. I did not have acne. And so when you start to talk to a customer and you're looking at, okay, hold on, guys, if you've got mute, okay, here we go. All right, good. Sorry about that. When you're talking to a customer and she's wanting you to recommend something for her daughter, because it's so important to get the tweens and teens using a skincare regimen, okay? Because if they will start with the systems, okay, then they will stay with you through all the different seasons of your life. So 22 years ago, when I was starting out, a lot of my customers had 5-year-olds, 10-year-olds. Guess what? There was a point where I recruited one of my customers' daughters because she was a freshman at Georgia Tech, but she was a 10-year-old, when I got started. And so make sure you do your best job at servicing and putting these girls on the right product so that they will stay with you for a lifetime. Okay. So here are the products for the tweens and teens. I'm going to list them, and then I'm going to turn it over to Marianne, and she's going to talk about, some of the other things that teens are more specific for tweens and teens. Clear Proof. That is a very, very powerful acne line. It has 2 major ingredients: benzoyl peroxide, salicylic acid. Those 2 ingredients are the only ingredients in the laboratory that will get rid of bacteria in the pores. Okay. The only thing, and it's in that product line. It will literally clear them up in 7 days. Okay. When I went to training on this, when it launched, they literally had big video documentary of these teens who were our test case. And every morning they would log on to their video and say, this is day 2, this is day 3, this is day 5. And we saw the progression of their skin clearing up. Here's what you need to know. When someone has dirty pores, bacteria in the pores, guess what is going to probably happen right off the bat? It's going to get worse before it gets better. And if they say, oh, it's making me break out, absolutely it is. But it's not making you, it is bringing all of that to the surface to heal. Okay. You have to stay the course. All right. Now, Clear Proof has 4 steps. It's a cleanser, a toner, a moisturizer, and an acne treatment gel. When I talk in just a second about customizing a very specific regimen for someone that doesn't fit in one of the boxes, You might have to take out an acne treatment gel and mix it with a 3-in-1 cleansing bar. Okay. Um, so we'll talk about that customizing in just a second. And so I think you get my point that the clear proof line is very, very powerful. These are going to be for the people that have the, they've already got the breakouts, the redness that can scar, and it's going to draw them out. So they have to use the moisturizer. You want them to use the toner. You want them to use all the steps. They may not need to reorder Clear Proof once they use up that whole line. Okay. I think that whole line is going to last them like 6 to 8 months. It will start to clear up within, like I said, 7 days, and it might be bringing out some other things. But that line is going to last, I think, maybe 6 to 8 or 4 to 6 months. When they go to reorder, you need to look at their skin again, because, like I said, there's a good chance they will not need to go back on that Clear Proof line. It is going to have already done its job. And now we've purged the pores, we've cleaned it out, we've got them used to a system. Where do you go next? Okay. The next thing that you can do for a teen, a tween, or a teen, you have botanical effects, and then you have botanical. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the two. It's botanical effects, botanical, I'm gonna call it botanical 1 and botanical 2. When you go under skincare, under ordering, and you click on botanical, you see the botanical. I'm gonna get the packaging, hang on. This is the botanical effects, okay? And this is the one that's really kind of for all skin types, but it doesn't really fit the mold for dry skin. And so if this is too harsh, which I just had a customer, the botanical effects was too harsh. It does have dragon fruit and aloe. It is a really, really great product, but it's going to be geared more toward those tweens and teens that have some oil. Okay. Botanical, I can't remember the name. It's just botanical 1. When you look on the list, it's in a yellow, I mean a white and green. It's botanical 1, and it's for dry skin. Okay. And so when you look at a teenager and they just got really good clear skin, and but their mom knows that down the road they're going to need to know how to take care of this, I would suggest botanical 1 or botanical 2, because botanical 2 is for normal skin. Okay. And botanical 1 is for dry skin. And it comes with the steps. It's a cleanser, a hydrate, and a freshener. Okay. So it's got the system. It's that same classic system. So why did we have 3 botanical? So back in the day when we had the original classic line, that was Mary Kate's original skincare, when we could no longer get the products or the ingredients anymore to make our classic line. We had classic line 1, 2, and 3. It was numbered just like the botanical. 1 was for dry skin, 2 was for normal, 3 was for oily. In fact, our blemish control toner is from the classic line. Okay. So it was so old, we just could not get the ingredients anymore. So Mary Kay had to revamp a whole new line, and that was the birth of botanical. And then we came out with botanical effects, because there was really good testing with dragon fruit and aloe. It was gentle, more holistic approach. And that was why you have that botanical effects, because there was a market for it and we have it. Okay. So that's the difference between those. You're just going to really need to look at their skin. Sometimes it's like you're going to tell the mom, if the daughter's not at the party, take a picture of her skin, send it to me, and then let's talk about it. Okay. So that you get her on the right regimen. Then there's the naturally line. Okay. And that kind of is more toward the 20s. We'll talk about that next week when we get into the 20s and 30s. They're the ones that they're crunchy. They need to be all natural, and that's the way to go. That's the trend. It's really not really the tweens and teens right now, unless there's some health issues and they're just allergic to everything. But that naturally line is our it's 99.9% all natural. When you look at the ingredients, it's got a exfoliating powder, it's got a beeswax moisturizer stick, it's got the cleanser. You make your own scrub. I mean, it's literally all natural. It's made in Europe. It's not made in Dallas, Texas like the rest of our products. It's made in Europe because to truly be all natural, there's a standard. And to have that seal that we have on that product already, it has to be um, manufactured, shipped, packaged, everything in Europe because they're the only ones with the bar raised really, really high for that naturally line. So for that price point to be what it is for that line, knowing what we have to spend to have that line in our collection is huge because if you go and compare dollar to dollar, you're going to go, wow. So if there's any other products out there that they claim to be all natural, unless it's being made in Europe, there's a good chance it doesn't meet the high standard and it doesn't have that Cosmos seal. You can look up that Cosmos seal. It was two top all natural organic guru companies or affiliates that came together to basically set the standard for this naturally line. Okay. And it's got, like I said, it's got a cleanser, it's got an exfoliating powder, it's got the nourishing oil, and it's got the moisture stick. Okay. All right. So now let's talk customizing. Um, I had to get really good at customizing because my oldest son, Clear Proof was good, and then he just more almost like cystic acne. We're going to talk more about cystic acne probably more toward the 20s and 30s because that kind of comes up more from hormones. A lot of times pregnant women, women who just have their first baby, they have the cystic acne. It's hormonal based. Just go ahead and make a note that the retinol really, really helps with cystic acne. And so, all right, so let's talk about customizing. So if you've got, say, a mom that's sitting there and saying, "Ah, my teenage son, I know he's not going to do these steps. What can I do?" Here's what I did. Because I felt like my sons were not doing the steps, so they weren't really getting the full benefit of the Clear Proof. We did 3-in-1 bar because it would be in the shower. Boom, started clearing them up. Microderm, I would make them do the microdermabrasion. Charcoal mask, we haven't mentioned that yet. I think a charcoal mask is a must for whatever line they're on. Okay. That way to just keep those pores clean. All right. Now, we also have that pink clay mask. If like the little girl that I saw yesterday, her skin reminded me so much of mine when I was a teenager, just really good tight pores, no, no blemishes or anything. So maybe the pink mask. Okay, the pink clay mask would be good. Even one of the scrubs that's in the botanical line, there's a scrub in there. So just a gentle scrub. So you can really mix and match and knowing what they're looking for, just really truly customize it for that teenager. Because that's all of our products are tested together. You don't ever want to mix other lines. You also want to make that point when you're talking because teenagers are notorious for mixing skincare lines. And so that will cause, basically a chemical reaction on anybody's face. Debbie just had a customer that only bought the foundation, tried our foundation with our skincare. Everything was fine at the table, went home, was frugal, didn't want to start her new stuff until she finished her other skincare. And wow, problem. And I'm like, oh, it's not us. It's the mixing of the product line because our foundation has anti-aging in it. So when you go use it with another product line, you are maxing out probably some anti-aging ingredients and your skin can't handle that. And so it's important that you go ahead and say those words, have that conversation with these moms and these teenagers that find a line and stay with that whole line. Okay. Even if you don't ever buy Mary Kay, You want to have that disclosure because you don't want them to think, oh, she's just trying to get me to buy her product. And I say that I don't care. Even if you don't ever buy Mary Kay, you find that line and you stay with that line. You do not want to mix and match product lines. It could cause part of your skin problems is because you are just chemical explosions on your face basically. And so customizing 3-in-1 bars, wonderful. 3-in-1 bar is amazing for back acne and all, chest acne, all these things that are happening in a teenager's body. 3-in-1 bar is the answer for the back acne. Okay. All right. So like I said before, not every tween and teen is going to fit in a box. Okay. You sometimes you just got to look at their skin, listen, and know what your products do, and create a regimen. But bottom line, you got to have a good cleanser. You got to have a moisturizer. Okay. And you want some type of scrub, whether it's microderm or the scrub that's from the botanical, and a mask. Okay. And then micellar water. Micellar water, oh, they need that in their gym bags, okay? Because they're at volleyball practice, football practice. Hudson is breaking out. Hudson is like Riley. They don't have acne, but Hudson already playing football this year. Guess where? Right here. It's his chin strap. So I'm like, I'm making him do his charcoal, and he's got his bar, and the micellar water is a must in their gym bag. They get all sweaty, they can wipe their face down before all that stuff gets into their pores. And you can kind of nip that bacteria in the bud before it ever gets seeped into those pores. Satin lips, they love satin lips. The girls love the CC cream and the liquid eyeshadow. Okay. Marianne, I'm going to pin you. I'm turn it over to you for a second, and you can kind of give us some more tips on the tweens and teens, because she's got tween girls. So hang on. All right, Marianne.
Okay. So like she said, I've got daughters. I started my business when my girls were 5 or 6 and I was pregnant. And so we have grown up through the tween stage and them starting to experience skincare and play with makeup, and now needing skincare, and the little one, she's 10, she wants to do what we do as well. So I love that our products are safe, and I am with full confidence can let them use any of these products because they are safe for their skin. And so that's another thing that you want to point out to people, and let parents know ahead of time. Say, listen, you got to be careful what you buy for your child. Okay, I'm going to back up and give you a selling tip. It's painkillers versus vitamins. I learned this from a top speaker. She's the only person who's been invited back to do like the global leadership speaking thing twice in a row. So her stuff's good. So she says the painkillers, it's like, when you have a headache, no one has to convince you to take a Tylenol. Like, you are looking for that Tylenol. Vitamins, it's preventative help, and you're kind of like, maybe I need it, if I skip a day, no big deal. And so when the best tips in selling, you've got to deliver the truth to people, and in that like painkiller type method. And so letting people know that from the get-go, our products in the United States are not regulated very well, and that our FDA only bans about 13 ingredients or so. So especially in products that are marketed for teens and tweens, there's a lot of junk in there, and that can cause problems with skin right away and down the road. A lot of carcinogenic ingredients in there, and so that's the painkiller information. It's the truth. So then you let them know about how our products are safe. We're one of the top 5 most safest and effective brands, and so that's really important. So Madeline, one of my twins, she actually has dry skin, and she could not use the botanical effects with the dragon fruit. It made her skin sting. And so we put her on the botanical formula 1, is what Michelle was talking about. And it has the pink stripes on the back. Okay. On the complete opposite end, Monica, she has super large pores, and so very much excessive oil. She has to stay on top of the clear proof. And she will tell you, she notices when her cycle's coming around, we can see it on her face and see it in her attitude. And she knows when she's like, I need to go wash my face, and mommy, will you do a charcoal mask with me? And yes. And so I love that. So Couple other things is I asked a couple of parents to give me some other questions that they have that maybe I haven't thought about or haven't been trained on. And my neighbor who works in sales and has teens and has used Mary Kay products for a while time, she gave me a whole sheet of notes. But really starting to talk to them around to age 10 or 12, before when the hormones are starting, and then before it gets really bad, and getting them, teaching them how to get into that routine at that age, even if they're just starting with the cleanser and the moisturizer at that really young age, but getting into that habit, just like we make them brush their teeth every day. Like, this is just what you do, like this is not optional. This is what you do. And that is going to, what we're doing is helping to build their confidence, because we know, especially as females or even teens, when they if they have to struggle with acne, if you don't get ahead of it, then it's going to affect their confidence. It's going to affect how they talk with their groups in classes, or have to go up in public speaking in front of the classroom. And that's a really big deal. And so one of the best gifts that you can give them is teaching them and helping hold them accountable for that, skincare regimen early on. So that way it's normal for them and they know what to do. Um, let's see. And then even getting together with dads and daughters, we have a lot of different family dynamics now. And if you know anybody in particular where they have the family dynamic where it's a dad and daughter situation, gather a couple of them together and teach those dads, because they don't know. And they will, if you teach those dads and tell them what she needs, they will be with you for life. And can you imagine the support that you're providing for that family? This is why we do what we do. We're an extension to families. We are here to support, and there's no other company that does this like we do. And so what you do is so powerful. Even if you don't do this a lot, you help one family and you have made such a huge, huge difference. And then let's see, teaching those girls, I remember. So with social media, there's so much information. TMI.
Uh-oh.
And of course, our kids ask because everybody's watching it. So then they think just because it's viral, that must be fact. And you have to say, actually, that's not true. I've got one of my daughter's friends, she's 14. She has a long list of products that she wants, and it's stuff like retinol and all that, like our clinical solutions. Like, some of that stuff should not be put on a 14-year-old. It will
No.
ruin her skin. But if, she says, Mom, this is what I need, it's all over TikTok. And her mom goes, okay, because no one educated her, it could be bad. So we have a really important role of educating people. So that's another thing to say, is just because you saw it on TikTok, it doesn't mean you need it. Another one of my cheerleaders, her dermatologist, has her using things like CeraVe, and she's got some acne and she swears she needs Proactive. So this has opened up a conversation for us to be able to, for me to book her and share about Clear Proof with her, because the media is telling the child that she needs Proactive, and maybe not. So we have a great opportunity to be able to educate and offer great things. And over the years, I have found, after talking with many people who have used Proactive before, they love our Clear Proof better. They say that the Clear Proof works better than the Proactive. Plus, it doesn't have any of the negative side effects that typically Proactive has had in the past, like changing the skin color, or like as they're washing their face and it's getting all over the sink and counters, and when they go to go to bed on their pillowcase, it changes the color of the counter and the cabinets and the pillowcases. Not okay. So if you hear somebody talk about that, say, listen, I'd love for you to try this. I have something that's going to save you money, it's going to work better, and it's safer. Let's give this a try. So, and ask people for referrals. It's not like you can go on social media and say, tag your friend if they got acne, I got something. That's awkward. But when you're in your skincare classes, and if you've got somebody there who no one needs the Clear Proof, tell them, say, this is our Clear Proof line. And if you know someone who's really struggling with skincare, this is for them. And please share them with me. I'd love to get together with them in a setting just like this, so it's private and everything. And then, like, they have a lot of respect for that. So those are my main tips for teen and tween skincare.
Awesome, Marianne. Thank you. One thing I want to say about the Proactive, um, is if there's a company that's making you do auto ship, their product's not any good, because if your product was really, really good, they wouldn't need to auto ship anything to you. And they won't let you buy just one thing, even though you don't need the other thing. You have to keep buying both. And that's an indication that they don't trust their product. So, hey, say that out loud. Yes, Marianne.
And to add to that, the doctors who created Rodin and Fields, they're the ones who originated Proactive. So they sold that. They no longer own it. And so if you created a product that you believe in, why in the world would you ever sell it?
Yep.
I don't know. So that right there always to me like diminishes the credibility of the product. And it does. There are always people that certain brands work for. We're not saying that it doesn't ever work, but we're saying that we have incredible products that do work. And the more that you can share with people, the better. Follow up with your people. I just got an acne line sent to a new customer. It's for her son. And I said, hey, when you get it, let me know. Let's FaceTime. I need to teach him the steps. And she's like, he doesn't want to FaceTime. I'm like, I get it. I said, so I texted her the steps, so what we offer is a service that's so personalized, and one little tip with the clear proof, I always recommend that they start with the toner only once a day at first, and you only use the toner on like your affected areas because it is so strong. And I let them know, if you feel like the skincare line is too drying, back off on the toner, but keep using all the other 4 steps, and that usually adjusts it perfectly.
Right. And so, guys, if you want to see a really great before and after of the Clear Proof, go to our boards app under before and after, scroll down, and you will see my sister's former stepdaughter. And I cleared up her skin in a week and a half with Clear Proof, microdermabrasion, and a charcoal mask. So you can say that we actually know who that is. And like, it's real. Like, we did it. We did it. That's our product. And so that's how powerful that Clear Proof line is. All right. I'm going to stop the recording if anybody wants to ask some questions. What just happened here? Oh, there it is. Okay.